Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Friday's the day of the week. We turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, hey guys, vote us in a map. And they've gone with this one. Now, it's a creator we have reviewed twice in the past, and I've got to say that while it's all very vanilla and quite simple, it's a creator that actually I'm a bit of a fan of. They just do so many things right. Today's map, well, it's kind of when you look at Da Vinci or Picasso and they produce some of the world's greatest masterpieces, and then they produce some that are okay. Today's map isn't my favourite of this creator, but again, I can't really fault it. It does everything it wants to do, and if you're looking for a vanilla map that's going to play very nicely and you like the look of today's map, go ahead and play it. You've got my support. It just doesn't excite me personally. What would excite me, however, is a little bit of cooperation. That's right, cooperating is a very good way of supporting the channel, get me seen by more people and help me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Lily Bay by Lielanthris. Yes, we reviewed them in episode 1331. They got 11 stars, and 1444 where they got 10 stars. And both of those are respectable scores. Nothing wrong with those at all. There's your start square. Really like the start square. I'm going to say it, I really like the start square, and I like the overall shape, the outline of the coast and the shape of the river as well on the map. We've got resources. Yes, it's field painting. There's nothing wrong with field painting when you look at it and you go, actually, I can make that work. And I could, I feel. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, they've gone to the effort of making sure we have all of the fish. Looks very good to me. Right, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, nothing. It's 100% vanilla. We've got a nicely written, very short description, and that's basically all you need to know. We'll be using the vanilla temperate theme, and of course a realistic 1.2 LUT, because that's the one that you told me to use. We voted on it some while ago. I don't see any point in re-voting. It's a very solid vanilla-ish without being vanilla LUT. I mean, those vanilla LUTs are a bit bleh, aren't they? Pretty much all of them are a bit bleh. Realistic 1.2 is a bit yeah, it's not gonna win you any beauty contests, but equally it's a good LUT. And I think it kind of like sums up this map. It's not gonna win any beauty contests, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, there's very little. There are one or two little tick boxes for the BonBonBingo players. Link is in the description if you love watching out for the memes, and there's always a meme in the show somewhere, and occasionally you might get yourself a line. The link is in the description. Grab yourself one at random from the page and just tick them off as we go. Anyway, yeah, so it's a vanilla map. It's a fairly flat map. Again, if you've got the airport's DLC, this is going to be a very flexible map for an airport. So many places that you could go with this one. In terms of design, it's not massively exciting, but I don't think they've gone for massively exciting. And not every map has to be massively. I mean, we look at Monday's map. Monday's map, incredibly exciting, that one. Playability, I mean, if you're a modder, if you're a detailer, amazing. But if you're a base game vanilla player, 0. And this one, first intersection, there we go, a vanilla wishbone, quite nicely done. Yeah, I think so. Also, look, we have got intersection marking tool in operation. If you have the intersection marking tool, I've got to say I was okay with the intersection markings. Oh, they're all right. Again, nothing exciting, nothing I can really get too grumpy about. If we were going for the detailer vibe on this map, then I'd probably pick up on a few more of the details on that. Now we got the bridge. I would say everybody loves a big old bridge, but this isn't a big old bridge, this is a little old bridge, and honestly, I don't love it. I'm going to call this one out. Okay. First of all, I feel that these two suspension sections should be parallel. Secondly, maybe we should have pillars on either side rather than in the middle. Perhaps it could have just been an elevated bridge rather than a suspension bridge. And we've also got a pillar in the middle of the river there where the suspension bridge starts in the wrong place. I'm going to say that bridge is all kinds of wrong, and it does start and begin at the same place. So listen, it's balanced. As is this little bridge in the middle here. Again, it feels a little bit squashed to me. I probably would have gone for one section rather than two sections. But again, it's an aesthetic, and it's very hard to actually say there's anything really wrong with it. There's your start square, plenty of buildable space. It just doesn't feel right. Doesn't mean it's wrong. Doesn't mean it's wrong. But it just doesn't feel right. So, hey, listen, it's fine. And so onto something just a little bit different. I'm only allowing myself maybe 90 seconds within the show to talk about this because frankly, we come here to chill out and have some fluffy stuff and do some gaming and just basically get away from the stress and the hassles of the world. It's an escape route for all of us, isn't it? And we don't want to be talking about loads of things political or stressful or frankly topical. In fact, one of the main reasons why I don't do topical on the channel is I'm recording these shows 48 to 72 hours ahead of when they're released and they go out. Jumping over to the rail now, I'll talk about the rail in a moment. So anyway, a few of the observant ones amongst you may have noticed been a change to the logo in the top left hand corner of the screen, showing a little bit of solidarity for some people that are going through a hell of a bad time at the moment. As I'm 48 hours, maybe 72 hours ahead of you guys, it may all be over, or it may have got a whole lot worse. I don't know, but I just want to show that over here that there are some people thinking of you, and also accepting that there are plenty of good people on the other side of that border as well. And if you're watching this and thinking that I'm here to demonize you, I'm really not. I'm really not. There are good people and bad people in every country, and there are plenty of bad people and good people in the United Kingdom as well. But hopefully anyway, just hopefully. I'll stop now. I'm moving on. Anyway, that's it. I'm not going to talk about the situation anymore. Let's talk about the rail. The rail is actually not too bad. Not too bad. There may be one or two areas where you get a very slight slope going on, but it's within the context of the map, it's absolutely fine. We've got this junction here. The junction's got a little bit of catenary chaos, if I show you. Just a little bit going on like that. But again, it's not game breaking, not game changing. It'll be fine. And we've got a splash of blue mantle where it's been just pushed a little bit beyond what it's happy with there. And anyway, the rail heads off, and I'm really loving the aesthetic that we're getting in the distance with the river and the fields going off to the distance there. We're going to take a left here rather than go off to the edge of the map, where there's another hint of blue mantle and catenary house going on there. But we're heading down this way because this takes us straight into the start square. The start square, of course, is a good square. A good square to have a little bit of rail just nudging its way down that route. I'm all good with that. Anyway, yes, so it's a Cities Skylines map, basically. This is the only way of describing it. It's not a realistic map. It's not really a fantastical map. It's just a map that's been put together for building a city on, and I think there's going to be a few of you that might be interested in this one. Let's look at it in more detail after the intermission.
Are you fed up with random vanilla buildings spawning in random locations? Do you want a specific type of building in a particular zone? Then you need the beginner's guide to theme management. Click the information button below.
And so back to Lily Bay by Lielanthris and the shipping routes. I mean, the shipping routes, again, they're going to work perfectly fine if you are a vanilla base game player. A shipping route this far out, so close-ish, I mean, we're about a tile away from the edge of the map. It's going to be deep in fog. You're not going to notice any ships doing right-angle turns. But that there is a right-angle turn, and that actually does connect. It's not an anarchy run. It's actually also a right-angle turn there. It's not an anarchy run. It is a crossroads, where ships will take right-angle turns. I had to test it using Move It to find that out, and yes, we can get up into the bay, and that's all good. and then we can head off towards the edge of the map, which is also very good. I do love the edge of a map. Water flow. Yes, this is a river running through the start square. There's your start square dotted lines there. And thanks to the Common Ground mod, I can now actually show the start square without having to unlock all of the tiles first and then unlock them and lock them, and it's fiddly. So yes, there's a mod for you map makers out there. Common Ground, grab it today. Anyway, map as a whole, I like the shape. I really like the outline. I like the road layout to a degree. I kind of like the fields to a degree. As everything's kind of, I like it to a degree. But yeah, the outside, the coast is an interesting shape, and I'm good with that. I'm happy to roll with that. And the fields, do you know what, the field layouts, I can happily roll with that as well. The field painting works very nicely, and it's just all fine. It's all fine work. Now, let's jump into some areas. Let's jump down to these orchards. These orchards, the prop line tool work, even though it's not prop line tool anymore, is it? But it's imperfectly perfect. I know you're looking going, oh, that's perfect. They're wonky. They're a little... Yeah, I know. Farming is a little bit wonky. And those absolutely work for me. So I'm not marking anything down there. Then we have cliffs. The cliffs are bold and strong and a bit ugly because of the theme. Can't blame Lielanthris for that, short of actually bringing in a custom theme. And a little bit of sand on there. I mean, I'm gonna say the cliffs are about a 6 out of 10 for me, which is okay. Again, 6 out of 10 is absolutely fine. Nothing really to grumble about, but again, I'm just not really feeling them. We have a ready-made wind plant, which leaves the question, have we chosen a windy part on the map? It looks like it will be, doesn't it? It looks like it will be. But we'll check. We'll check. It's something we started doing fairly recently. Yeah, there you go. Cannot grumble with that. You're going to get power from that, and it just makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. Good work again. These little hills, I know they exist in the wild, but they do nothing for me, especially with that cliff texture like that. It just doesn't work for me. I think the way to do that is not quite so steep and using tree detailing to make the whole thing come together. We got this little side river as well, which is fine. I like the shape of it, but it struggles. It's one of these rivers that struggles. Like, there's one, just lacking enough water flow to bring that over there. And then as we go up, we'll find a few other little areas like that that are just struggling. There's one there, and so on. I mean, the shape of it I'm okay with, and the idea to break up the environment I'm okay with. I'm not entirely, again, it's not a realism map, but I'm not entirely buying the spawn point area you'll see in a moment. But there is a waterfall which is almost excellent. Okay, almost excellent means it's good. I'm going with good. It is a good waterfall. I'm liking that. There's very little really much to grumble about that one. It's believable and just about works. Honestly, just about works. And the spawn point is a bit whatever's. It's fine. Listen, it works with the map. It fits with the map. It breaks up the map. Stop complaining, BonBon. I'm trying to. I'm trying to. The inner voice in me is going, ah. Listen, not every map is real. Tell you what is real though, and that's this little thing down here. It's the Freyberg Pool and Fitness Centre, Green Cities, you need the DLC, by mayorwont. mayorwont has produced this. Oh, remember those swimming pools, the Olympic pools that we were getting a few years back? Oh man, they were amazing. This in itself is also very nice as well. Come on, that's very, come on, you can't fault that. Factoids. Let's get a factoid out. Let's talk about Freyberg. The most prominent monument in the area is the large Nuremberg castle, dating back to the period between 1090 and 1220, which is amongst the biggest and most remarkable castles of its time in the whole of Europe. True. It features a double chapel, a residence tower for the ducal family, a very impressive castle keep, Dicker Wilhelm, and a vast authentic wall and fortification structures, all dating back to the period. I don't understand what a Dico Wilhelm is because I don't have time to learn these things, and this was all taken off of Wikipedia, so Dico Wilhelm may even be nothing to do with castles at all, because we know how it all works. But listen, I may have learned something today. The dates, I've learned the dates. Freyberg Pool and Fitness Centre Green Cities by mayorwont. That is the second most prominent monument in Freyberg, no doubt. Thanks for that, mayorwont. That's a really lovely pool. I'm going to say, I think a lot of people are going to grab that and actually use it in their cities. I sure will. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. And I was just thinking about that, Paul. You don't have to subscribe to the sign, which means that it doesn't actually have to be Freyberg. You know, you can have your own sign on there. Right, okay, the map aesthetically it's okay. It's okay. I like the overall design, which takes it a little bit over the 3 middle. And there are a few okay, nice little things going on. It's not 4 stars for me, but it does feel like a fairly comfortable medium-high 3. Detailing. There are some nods to some little things going on here, and mostly the detailing is more than fine. A couple of kind little bits of blue mantle, which brings it down where everything's been squished on the networking, but I still think we can go a fraction over middle 3. Gameplay potential. The only reason why I'm not giving this a 4 star is it's just not inspiring to me. Listen, it's a solid map. It'll get a good game out of it. If you want a map like this, Lily Babe like Lielanthris, you're going to have easily a 4-star gameplay, maybe even a 5-star gameplay, but I'm just not inspired, and inspirement is just... What, inspirement? Yeah, I'm going with that. Inspirement is something that I think is important in terms of gameplay. Anyway, I still like their work. We've still got 2 maps of theirs on the long list, and I'm sure there'll be more maps to come, so we'll be seeing more from Lielanthris in the future. Anyway, I'm glad we did this review today. Are you glad we did? And are you glad to still be here? If you are, use the word of the day in the comments. Prove yourself part of the 20 and now elite. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map. Should be fun. It's a little bit quirky. Looking forward to that one.